Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing pretty much the future deck of Standard. In my opinion, this deck's really strong now, let alone when cards get banned in a couple days. Um Basically looking out for like Fable, Bank Buster, those grindy decks that they kind of need to use to get back in the game. We have this one. This goes over the top pretty quickly thanks to the start that the Generous Visitor gives us. This putting counters on things and growing itself can get completely out of hand. A lot of times your hand looks like Visitor into a Kami, and then hopefully you're playing a Naturalist after that, followed up by any of these other enchantments, even including like Weaver here, including any of these. If you do that, this is going to 2 or 3. This is up to 4. Naturalist is in play. These are coming in play. You're drawing a card, or everything's getting buffed or getting super buffed with the rain. And then you get to top it off with a Calix and generate a ton of value. We have a game today in which Calix and Skrelv tag teamed up, along with a copy of Ossification that we had. Calix, I was able to give protection in the mirror against white and then green a couple times, hit them, get an ossification in for free, exile some other stuff, spread the counters. Our opponent was at like 30, we were at 1, and we actually grinded the game back and won. So that's a pretty good game to look out for. Other than that, do a little bit deeper dive at the end of the video if you would like to check that out. Other than that, hope you enjoyed the games today, and let's just get into them. I go first with this hand. Yeah, okay, buddy. Sure, why not? Okay, this one. I want to play Enchantment Scales against Vampires. Let's let that vibe, right? I'm pretty sure. Dog. I could have done Weaver, but you know, I do dog. I want to try to push towards hitting a land, but you know, I can hold. I think. On a red. Maybe not the Vampire deck that I've seen a couple of times. They're holding back for pretty good reason, I think. We want to hold Ossification for whatever they enlarge in here, so let's cast a Weaver. Put it on this Visitor. They might play with Fire it now, which could have been a reason to put it on Spirited Companion, but we'll see. What if Fire comes off? Counter miss. I guess I'm down to just attack. Missing a land kind of makes me want to be a little bit more aggressive. Although the plan should probably be to stay back. Furnace Punisher. Huge creature here. Could trade this off, but if I hit a land, I'm way better off leaving this in play. Just like that. We'll do this. We'll trigger this ossification, and we'll copy this ossification trigger, and we'll take the Pit Fighter as well. I think there's no need to attack, especially when we're going to be able to follow up with a Calix and get our board huge. I might just shoulder check this Kimono for a turn. Oh, never mind. Guess should be losing the Weaver. Weaver's exiled. Attack here is definitely a block for me. This dies, I lose it because it's exiled, but I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna cast a Weaver, a counter will go on it. I have to remove it immediately. You could have Lightning Strike, I suppose. One of the other reasons I blocked this, so they weren't able to flip it for free. With the Lightning Strike, I think that's going to be their intent here. Bloodthirsty Adversary. Okay. Kicking, play with fire. Hitting the Weaver. Sure. See what how they're feeling. You just attack with this. I'm gonna let it go because this being exiled is not good. And if they waste more resources on that later, then sure, so be it. Play a Calix, that'll go up to 4. I'll put Calix up to 3, and I'll play a Skrelv. I'm not going to be able to put any counters on anything. But again, I'm going to hold the line. They're down to 2 cards. I'm at 15. I don't want to keep this invasion from flipping. And I could trade his Calix off for free because I have another one coming down. And then 2 foundries there is another kind of concern that I have to deal with. And I cannot deal with. Actually bad for us. They're double checking to make sure I don't have reach. Whenever dragon control attacks, deal 2 damage to any target. Pretty tough for us to actually... deal with, to be honest with you. What do I do? Like Calix, put 2 counters on Calix and attack? I think so. My dead on backswing 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Plus pings if they want. So I'm pretty dead like either way, I think. So do I get them to trade off my board? I'm gonna guess a 5. The other reason, if Calix connects here, I get to make a copy of ossification. Okay, let it connect. So quite a mistake here. Yeah, I would like to make a copy of this ossification, which is the only target. So this is going to come in. We're going to eat this. And I'm going to put a counter here, and they're going to give it up after making a crucial mistake of letting me hit them with Calix. I go first. Look at that. I mean, it's play Scrub on 1, Naturalist on 2, and then potentially 2 companions. Obviously, Skrelv kind of has to make it through this turn in order to protect my Naturalist. But if this is red, it's going to be a little bit tougher because I'm going to take a lot of damage to kind of do this. Legends, soldiers, a lot of options. Oh, we passed here. Alright, so we're Esper. There's a Thalia, that's fine. Don't care in the slightest. Playing a Spirited Companion to try to draw a card. And we'll play Weaver after needed. Want to hit a land. Just not realizing the actions on them. Yeah, every time we cast something, opponent, the Skrelv's going to activate. I know, it's very cool. I love it. I have to hold Skrelv back for Brutal Cathar. Raffine's also really good here against us. They have to attack, and I am willing to double block. Nothing? I don't know what that means. To say I'm nervous would be an understatement. So we're gonna play this, take more damage, because why not? It's in Ganjo. Duh. Like, what else would it be? Ganjo. I would like to draw 2 cards. We're trying to dig for a land. Okay, we found one. Sweet. Do we play Little Boy to grow my board out of range? I think so. Because... Or Harmony's pretty good too. And I will attack with my Spirited Companion. If they want to Enganjo it, they can. I'm not going to do my Reducer because it makes my hand a lot better. It's like next turn I play Visitor, I play Calix, I put more counters across my board, and my Calix puts a counter across stuff. I draw an Audacity, we're feeling great. That's a Shieldred. You're tapped out. It would suck if I have lethal. Yeah, I'd like to draw my card. Huh? We play Visitor. Play Calix. Counter on Naturalist. Another counter on Naturalist. And we'll be swinging it. If they want to trade off their Shieldred for this, that'll be it. How much damage? I can get total of 9 in guaranteed. It's just not worth it. I'll just attack for this. Just hold my board back. Aren't we all happy that Meathook Massacre doesn't exist anymore? I'm also getting a lot of life here, so it feels really good. Although that kind of foreshadows they might have some other stuff. Or a second Shieldred, of course. But when these get to attack, I think we're going to have such a strong play after this. Also, Nganjo's live on this turn. That's a little bit tougher for sure. Sure. Play another Visitor. Play another Naturalist. Taking damage here. Counters. Calix, of course. Calix go up to 5, so they still have to block it. But if they block with Thalia and they Nganjo this, it'll be dead. Which is kind of tough. So I might Skrelv, give it protection from white. They had to block it with Shieldred. They can still Nganjo. Again, I just don't want them to Nganjo and then Thalia block it and I lose it. For like no apparent reason. Next turn, I'm going to work on growing my board to where, like, if I draw another enchantment or this enters, I'm going to grow my board to where basically everything can attack. Now I got to figure it out. And if this enters, I'm probably making a copy of Weaver. If this hits, doesn't it? Drink your water. Or don't, you know. Water and energy drinks equal same thing. You get the Naturalist. Nganjo's still alive with this mana. Where's the Nganjo? Rafine. That, however, opponent, I do not know if that will be enough to stop me. Yeah. So I can name white and you die? Pretty sure. Yeah, so counter, put that on it, give us protection from white and slam them, but also attack. When it goes first, our hand's like fine. It curves out, but it's definitely not the most explosive hand we can have. And being on a draw, kind of want that, but we also have ossification to kind of clean up some stuff, especially if we're against an aggro deck. I never know what this means. I actually just play Visitor. Skrelv's nice, but I don't really care to have Skrelv to protect my Spirited Companion. Oh, green black ramp. Oh, we got our information here. At the beginning of your step, you may sacrifice another creature. What you do? So we're Jund. This is... I love this opponent. This opponent's my hero. Cast this. We'll go ahead and put a counter on this. Grow our board a little bit. I'm down to wait a turn before I start getting a little too aggressive here. Ah, Fable. Pretty much our last day of enjoying that card. Alright, so we play Evergreen Farmland. We're going to play out our Skrelv. And then we're going to ossify the Goblin Shaman. It's the only one that really puts any pressure on us. In terms of like maybe like an Invoke Despair, we hold back our low 1/1 as a blocker. We hit them for 3 and tap. Please don't Invoke Despair me, opponent. Cards I don't know. Enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards, dies, exile it. Opponent on an interesting brew for sure. Battlefield, mill 3. Here's our reanimate target. Breach of the multiverse. Kind of what we assumed was happening now. So Calix coming down. We're gonna put another counter on this for very obvious reasons. If you not aware. I know there's kind of putting all of our money in here, but now we're gonna grow some other things. Got to make sure things are out of cut down range. I mean, they can't even block with enough, so we're gonna swing here. Back with this. We'll see what happens. We have to leave Squirrel back to protect. Let's trample opponent when you do return. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Like, there's a reason they did that. I literally just watched it. Resolve this. See what they return. I don't really think they have a whole lot. Oh, old Rustine. And this, when it enters the battlefield or beginning of your upkeep, mill card. If it's on card, you create a treasure token. If it's a creature, mill display, create a 1/1 green insect. Big action. What do I want to make a copy of? Spirit Companion to draw the card, or Ossification to clean up some of their mana? And I think it's Ossification to clean up some of their mana. So we'll take this, then we'll put a counter on Spirit Companion. They're now all out of cut down range. Okay, we're gonna flip. The argument could be to make a copy of this Audacity to grow my board even more, but you don't have to grow your board too wide if you just remove all the threats. Oh, Rustine. I haven't seen a single like go for the throat or anything, which is kind of weird. I don't think. Yeah, I haven't seen anything quite like that yet. Well, I think turning on the pressure is what we want to do. I could give this protection from green, or I can do that for this so they can't block my Calix. I think that's pretty irresponsible, so we'll attack like this. And using Calix's protection. Gonna eat it all, or how you feeling, opponent? Eat up to 7. To block all out, which they do. I definitely want to pick up this and this for sure, and then this is kind of whatever. Yep, how I want to do it. Yeah. I'm checking to make sure that all worked out right. Audacity comes down. I don't know what board wipe they could be playing. They could be playing Burn Down the House, I guess. I'm willing to lose to that, though. Not have seen one in, like, top 20 cards. Doesn't quite seem like they're like that. Also, an Invoke Despair, like, gives me way more options here. It is an Invoke Despair. And I have a... Weirdly enough, this Ossification eating a token earlier means it's a free sack to it, where they won't be able to get, like, an actual creature back. A tough spot for them. They can activate 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have enough for this, but they're gonna return this. Beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice another creature. When you do, it deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target. You create 3 treasure tokens, but the problem is I have a Skrelv, so they have to remove my Skrelv if they even sacrifice this creature. I assume Skrelv is done here. Sure, that's gone. My turn. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They block. They go to 1. And this comes in. This is only 7. They have to block this pretty much. No other blocks work. 6, 10. Yeah, so they have to block here and lose this. Then I get to disturb it. Yeah, that seems fine with me. Attack. If they also block wrong, then we're feeling great. This hits. Companion, of course. We will put a counter on Calix. Draw a card. Do this. Spread the love, I suppose. An enchantment on the backside, so it also triggers a Calix. Traxa. What? I have 5 lands and the biggest creatures you could think of. Italis, Titans, and dinosaurs. They get to grab one of these 4 creatures, a cruelty, and a land. Wait. Does it matter? No. Let's not mess this up. We don't want to give us protection. We give it from what, like black, I guess? Okay. They kind of waited to let me do it, so I was like, do they have removal for when I go to target this? I'm going to be really upset about it. But we end up finding our way there. This hand's just not good enough, I think. It's really awkward. Yeah, this hand's a lot better. I'll put the one of these on the bottom, I think. Immune. These are all fine, but I'm actually gonna... I think I want to ensure I hit a land. Red. Just doesn't care. Alright, opponent, I'm gonna play this Kami that you could have removed. Yeah. Uh-huh. Sometimes your opponent does some weird stuff and you're just not ready for it. Grow. Getting cheaper, I'll be able to play a Kami and the Reign of Truth and kind of grow these things. Furnace Punisher. Don't worry, opponent. I have it figured out. We're going to play Kami. We're going to play Reign of Truth. I'm going to put it on my lifelinker, of course. Against red, what do you want to do? Gain life. Always seems like a good option. They could block here. They don't. They choose not to. 23, 15. And they give up. Okay. Opponent goes first, but I think this hand is pretty desirable for sure. This is a hand that can kind of catch up to some starts of our opponents can have. Generous Visitor has been quite a card for us for sure. Being able to put counters on stuff to kind of grow the board early and often is really good for us. Forest Visitor. Could be the mirror. The mirror, I'm sad. Because we all know how mirrors are. They're not the funnest thing in the world. My body screams play the Naturalist, but I don't want to walk into an ossification, so I'm going to play a Kami myself. And then next turn I'll play a Naturalist and then ossification this Kami away if it's kind of the big boy. If it's Calix, of course. That's a Naturalist. So kind of the same plane that they have. Teaching Kieran's also a cool card. Now I'm stuck in a weird spot where I kind of have to deal with this Kami, I think. Is that true? I feel like it's true. I'll play Naturalist. I'll grow both my things on my board. Then I will go ahead and play this ossification underneath here. The counter here. Again, growing my board state in multiple places. Eating that. And being totally aggressive here. I haven't played anything, all the big scary stuff yet, so. Seal of Essence, the card we do not play. Enchantment decks have played it. I feel like it gets too redundant, especially in best of one. Like here, I'm not blocking at all. You can't convince me to ever make that block. They take my Kami because they felt they were in the same exact situation as I was. We'll dog or draw a card. Put this on our naturalist. Dog draw. Here's a very stick it. It is good, but not quite what we wanted. Spread the love because naturalist is definitely getting blocked now, but we're gonna put all the counters on it to draw the card. Did let all that go through? Okay. They must have a big turn coming up. Or they think their naturalist can keep up with what we just did. Their Seal of Essence can do it. A Calix is a good start as well. Yep. Second seal. That is the card that can keep up, that's for sure. No blocks for me. I can make this big enough, I think, that they have to kind of deal with it. Pretty pain. Actually, it's quite the draw after. We have to keep all these back to basically block this Calix. This Calix hits us. Not good. They can chump block here, which they're gonna. Alright. We need our opponent to rip a dead draw. Well, I mean, Kami's not like great for us, but it's also not the best draw in the world. Watch me get punished and this be the third seal. Naturalist. I'm not blocking, just in case I get a Weaver. I need to go wider. Calix of my own. Calix will get more counters if I play the Naturalist after. I don't know what they're holding. They could just be doing a little bit of a fake here and be holding a land. Play a Naturalist. Counter from my board. And absolute pressure. More. A big board. I do think that was just a land. Oh, that's tough. That's a tough draw. I have 6. I feel like you're supposed to put it on the trampler. Block with the worst creature. What if we rip an ossification off the top? That'd be sweet for us. Right? What about a Skrell? I mean, it's just not attack, right? Block, block. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, I can't all out block. That's tough. Or odd attack. I suppose this is the attack. Yeah, is it a Calix draw? It's like a weird block. I mean, they get their Kami back, but I would assume this means that's Calix. It's gonna get huge. We also had to kind of keep back in case there's an Audacity. Them. Yeah, so Calix was the draw. Okay. Would you like to gain like 30? But we have a little sneaky trick here that we're going to be able to pick up on some of the stuff that they're doing. How do we do this? Do we just pick up the Naturalist? Do we pick up the Kami? The Naturalist seems like the most logical thing because it's the only way they've been able to kind of outgrow me this game. And just let my board grow on the back end. I think so. I'm going to spin a white. We're going to give this protection from green. We're going to attack with this. Hit. They can't block. We like to take this action. And we're going to copy this ossification. Attach it to this forest. Calix will trigger. And we could eat the Calix. We could eat this Kami. But I think eating the Naturalist makes the most sense. Put a counter on a creature of ours. Let's make it the Spirited Companion to grow it. Play a forest. Got nothing to do with my mana. In case I rip into a couple Spirited Companions, I want to have the most I can. Argument could be of eating a Calix to make sure like I have good blocks. But I have like decent blocks anyway. It's 12. I block with just Spirited Companion. It says me at 13. I have the same plan with Calix and just keep ossification things off their board. I think it's fine. Am I cool with going this low? Yeah, grow it. Don't have it. We'll play the Kami. I'm gonna do this again. We can do it this time, however, but for white. We attack with this. Attack with this. We're attacking with that. Do I attack with this? Yeah. Sure. Why not? I want to trade it off, then so be it. You don't have a Kami in the graveyard anymore to give it a back. You can't block mine. Take this action. Again, we're going to copy this ossification. We'll copy to this forest. This will trigger. We're going to eat their Kami. And then we're going to put a counter on this Kami. And they're going to grow a little bit. Slowly but surely. It's been quite the grind. This is kind of why I didn't want to play the mirror. I haven't played the mirror very often, but combat math is not a blast for a lot of people, including myself. Our opponent is at 27 in theory. I can eat this again. You just can't stop my Calix plan, pretty much. Counter on Calix. Here's the wall grow. I would like to put a lot on here, considering that's my plan. A target creature I would like to control, I'd put it on here. Let's do a white here. Let's activate here on Calix. I think it's white that I need to name. Yes, sir. Not let him gain any life here or make blocks that are favorable. This will hit. We're going to copy this ossification again. All centers. I'm going to eat this. I'm going to put a counter here. I'm going to put it on the smaller one, but you know. Dumb brain go where dumb brain go. We got him. Was being quiet there because they started roping. I think they were thinking if they have any outs or not. All right, this is going to probably be the deck of the future. We got our bans coming up, you know, in a day, 2 days, amount of days, of course. Either way, this is probably going to be the future aggro deck, probably a deck that you're not going to want to run into. They could potentially get something from this, but I doubt it. The deck's functionality can sometimes be overtaken with like a board wipe. Then you have to rebuild. You don't have any hasters. Kami, if it's like exiled at any point, it's like some of the value engine you get back, and Calix is the best thing you can be doing a lot of times. However, this deck's starts are a lot different whether you have Generous Visitor in your starting hand or not. This card is what makes, for me, at least the games I've experienced, this deck go over the top really, really fast, and allows you to keep up with mono red and like just kind of chump them out of the game. For example, you have this. You have the Naturalist follow up after. This puts a counter, but generally you wait on your Naturalist so you can put counters on it later. And what you'll do on turn 3 is you'll play your third land. You'll play your Naturalist. The counter will go on this most likely. And then you'll play any enchantment following that. Put the counter on your Naturalist to make it a 3/3. If it lives past that turn, you pretty much can't lose to mono red. Like, the only way you lose to mono red is they do some shenanigans where they like attack you with like a lethal amount, like do something lethal, and then they actually remove the creature you block with your Naturalist. But like this lifelink that you can get off this and the growth that this provides for it, along with like one rain trigger on it, it's just pretty much game over. Calix gets all the value. And Calix, weirdly enough, was able to grind us out of the game, and we saw the value of Skrelv immensely in that deck. Skrelv was able to basically give our Calix protection, and Calix would hit our opponent, make a copy of Ossification, exile something of theirs. Something that's pretty like unlikely to happen, but it did happen there, and it's sometimes the value that you get to play with this. Sometimes also making like a good start off with these 6 cards. Like, these are the cards you want in your opening hand, like one of these. That's why there's only 2. Too many of these is bad, of course, because they're legendary. We don't want to be running into that. But Visitor is just the best 1-drop for us. The deck plays a lot like Scales. If you've ever played Scales in like maybe Modern or back in the day when Hard Scales was legal in Standard, and kind of had a resurgence in Pioneer for a little while, died incredibly fast. Kind of whenever a Scales card comes out, they spike and then it goes away. Other than that, this deck is pretty fun, honestly. If you want to get through games pretty fast as well, it's a really good mobile like deck as well. Like, the counters kind of stack themselves. You just get to do whatever, then smash. If you got like 4 to 5 minutes to play the game, definitely recommend this deck. It's pretty safe right now, and it's probably going to be one of the future decks of Standard, especially in best of 1, best of 2. Or best of 3. I can imagine this deck gets a little bit worse when you have like cards like Destroy Evil that can pop enchantments for free, and it just basically is a setup removal card for everything that you do. Other than that, thank you for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and we'll catch you around in the next video.